So realized today I got a rescue build in this game to rescue um, vir virtually anything in the game that can be rescued in any worst case scenario. So I built that like over I don't know, that was like probably a week and a half ago. It was in the video, and I didn't name it in the video as that. So, but for those who potentially saw it, I was in Alaska when I built it. One day, I just in one of my streams, I decided I need to get my rescue build going, and um, I wasn't thinking about ice and like icy rocks and shit. Uh, so even though I was in Alaska when I built it, there was snow. There, uh, Alaska really, there's not icy rocks that I can think of really. Like indoor seems like maybe roads. I don't know. Well, maybe I don't know. I can't remember the all the maps start blending all together. At least as far as the snow and non-snow ones for me. So there arose a situation uh, today earlier that for a rescue that, and it was going over some icy rocks, and it made me realize I had a weakness. I wasn't able to get over that rock to rescue. So that was a failure on my behalf. So I exposed a weakness. So once I expose a weakness to myself, I want to make it my strengths. So that's what I'm doing right now. So I now changed. So I have a winter, if you will, snow and icy conditions rescue versus a non-snow and icy rescue. So I found the biggest tire trucks that can be chained up. This is one of them, and the Abenhorn, both 59s. Now I haven't seen another truck, from what I've seen, that has a bigger tire and can be chained up that I'm aware of. So that'd be go into the 60s then, far as being chained. So the Plaid and the Abenhorn are two um, of the bigger tired trucks that can be chained up. So I'd be looking at two trucks to roll out like that. Actually, well, three because I found another truck that I hadn't really tested. And he's got 55s, and he worked out pretty good. It's a Western Star, and most like all the other Western Stars I've tested just suck. This one actually is, I think, the best one. I don't know of another Western Star that tests better. So I hadn't really tested it because I got it as um, the truck, the Western Star that comes with the wrecker body. So I'll show that in the store as what I'm talking about for those who aren't um, visualizing or knowing that it's a Western Star, but obviously, yeah, there's a lot of different Western Stars, numbers and shit. So I'll show that truck as a representation. So I'm just seeing here what I would be rolling out as. So I got my main hauler, uh, fifth wheel for the rescue. So what I would call the Alpha Polar is the one that's pulling the trailer. Okay, so that truck is This truck right here. So I first when I saw that truck, the wrecker body, I got it in to get the wrecker body because it's specific to that truck only. So I tested the wrecker and it was like glitched. It went through the chassis and wheels and engine and stuff, and then flipped the truck up. Well, I found it. I gave it another test, me and a friend, and I didn't chock the wheels on the lifting device, and then it actually lifted it up without going through it. So I'd realized I had not done it right. So just my last stream, that's what we were doing is experimenting for hours. I was going through and we tested this and the lifting of it. The cylinder on it is very strong. As far as the hoist body on and the cylinders themselves on this particular add-on is very strong. So let's see. So to put a picture with it, let's pull out that. Where is that truck? There it is, right here. So I'm recapping on what we did earlier. So this is the truck. Right there. So obviously when they tested this, and I assume they tested it, they failed to address that when you pick up anything with this, the whole front end comes up because it's already heavy off the ass end, all that metal back there, the cylinders, the boom, all that added weight back there. They didn't, they failed to put a weighted bumper as a countermeasure for any vehicle that you're lifting. So, um, it would have been cool to so basically it's not you could use it like on a little fucking Scout and it probably wouldn't here let's just fucking show. Okay, so this thing's already heavy on the ass end already, just sitting like this. That's a lot of fucking weight on this. I mean, you can actually even see you can even actually almost see that it's even rising a slight bit. I mean, if you push down the front, then it would be more level. It's already actually squatting a little bit on the ass end, just sitting like this and so. Yeah, you can get it. Get it. You can see it from the side. You'll take a fucking. Okay, that line at the bottom there between the two axles, it's slightly going to the back. So if you were to push down the front end a little bit, that gap under the fender and the top of the wheel, that would be more level if you went down, let's say, an inch on the front. So that's just sitting like this. So as soon as you start going up the hill, it's going to squat even more. That's not even a thing to pay on. It's good. Just, I'll get just a off-road truck, which is like a mid-sized truck. Nothing even close to a heavy duty or a heavy. So okay, here's an off-road truck. Double check, Mac Pinnacle. defense. Oh, it might be heavy duty actually. Okay, well, the Mac defense is. Okay, actually, I think that one's heavy. Let's check. Pinnacle. Oh no, it'd be heavy duty. Okay, so yeah, that's heavy duty. But the Mac defense is off road. Okay, right here. Mac defense, off road truck. Okay, so okay, here's a Mac defense. Doesn't even hardly have anything on but a high saddle. Nothing compared to the attachments like service spare parts, fuel, etc. There's a way to fucking ship compared to this. This is really like literally lightest set of a truck in the game. Yeah. Yeah. Very nice. This is just an off-road truck. Oh, it's glitching. Glitching. Okay, everyone's glitching. So, yeah. Look at look at the front end coming up. Okay, so I don't know. You tell me. How much testing did they do, really, with this thing? It's only a medium-sized truck. So do you think they did really any testing, or which is it? They tested and didn't give a fuck, or they tested and failed to want to address the issue of anything being picked up, the front end's going to come off the ground. So right there, that's, that's snow runners for you. The cons. So they put this wrecker out, and it's a failure. Okay, so how many wreckers do you need to deploy then to versus, okay, a scout gets fucking, oh yeah, I'm gonna role play a scout. A scout needs to be rescued. So you don't really need this, but if you do, then this is the only thing that can, like, what, be realistic out of all the trucks in the game that are going to be able to lift it and not have an issue. So you're talking only a scout then that it can lift and not be an issue. Well, that's not fun. So so they obviously didn't care. So you can see the front end is still light. Okay, that thing's got to come up a little bit. So. Crane off the ground. So I can't even get the crane off the ground before the front end comes up. So it won't drag. See, that's hit. That's going to be hit. See, that's hitting the ground now. So do it another way. You got to fold it like this to get it come up. The weight up, so the back is still sitting on the ground. And now it just came off the ground. So let's see. So here's the other option. So for it to come off the ground, that means it's going to push the truck further away, which makes the truck even going to tip more. So then this can go further out, even makes it worse. So you tell me, they care, or that their wrecker body doesn't even fucking work, and they failed to put different weights of bumpers on it for different weights of trucks that you'd be hauling, so the front end doesn't come up off the ground. So this is ineffective, and that's why you don't see anybody using it. So then it all then just becomes a visual. Hey, we got it sitting out. It looks real. Yeah, it looks real, but is it effective? So they took the time to make this, program it in to be ineffective in the game. Oh, we got a wrecker in the game. Does it work? No, it doesn't. It doesn't work at all. So, so it's an absolute failure on this, and that's unfortunate because I like wreckers and I like doing rescue. But who wants to go do a rescue with this? Go ahead, raise your chicken wing. Everybody all in. You bet in your last $10 that you're going to be able to rescue something with this. So pretty cool, huh? Pretty cool that they spent the time to make something that actually doesn't work worth shit. So there's the wrecker for you. So since that doesn't work, if you want to haul a little Dawn around pickup, or a little Scout International or something, then hey, yeah, it looks really cool, right? Uh, yeah, that's pretty sad shit. You can't even lift half of the fucking heaviest shit in the game without the front end coming off the ground, so it's a major failure. So, so I hadn't tested this truck for anything else except for as soon as I brought it out with the wrecker and did this, I was really, uh, if you will, sad because I wanted the wrecker to work. So that's hoping there was going to be an actual rescue wrecker that you could take out and role playing in the game that you could take this out and rescue something, and it worked. But it fails to work. So so I took the the wrecker off, and now I'm testing this truck, and it's actually the best Western Star that I've tested. Um, so it is 69. So yeah, this truck is pretty badass. 55-inch tires. It's got quite a bit of power. So got supply, trunk, a roof rack that holds fuel and repairs. So I was looking at. So then to make him my recovery, he'll go out on recovery because he's got the chains for uh, winter icy recovery truck. He's one of the three that'll go out. So his build is this. He holds this. And so there was. Spare wheel. Boom. Spare wheel. So that's just a recovery truck. Um, Now I could use it on the business side, if you will. If this is uh, let's say a company, there'd be the rescue, and then there'd be the business side of delivering supplies. That's basically all there is. Um, so, so yeah, I can test them in some other areas based off of any of these options. You can be a runner. He's got the so maybe I did test it because I the crane on. I wonder if there was another Western Star that. I wonder if this is the same one. I wasn't paying attention to the number but I remember the crane being on the back with the flatbed. I don't know if there's another Western Star that actually does that, but it. It was gutless. So now it makes me wonder if this was actually the one. But when I drove him around with this on, he seemed to do okay, but I didn't run him through the test. So, Western Star, let's take a look. What other Western Star potentially could have been if it wasn't that one? So, Western Star. I wish they put them all in next to each other in alphabetical order. That would have been cool. Have some kind of organization. Is it? E F G H I J K L M N O P Q. Yeah, I would have been way back before P and S T W. So it seems like they did until you get H I J K L M N O P. So that's not in alphabetical order, but it seems like the rest kind of are. So they failed to put this one in alphabetical order. Um, so Western Star. So there's this one, this one, this one, this one. Okay, so they do have them in order except for one of them. So I got this one as a freeway truck because of the tag axles, and he's pretty powerful. Okay, this thing sucks. Um, so maybe it was him. I'm thinking he's the only one that has it. Let's find out. Yeah, that looks too short a wheelbase to be the one. Crane off the end. Well, I think it was the one. Yeah, that's way too short. Truck to be out. He ain't the one. Okay, so I actually have this one. This one's powerful too. I remember it now. Okay, so that one's powerful. Western Star, so that actually is the one. So he actually did suck balls. Let's see. Yeah. Hmm. So I don't know if I'll take him out now that I realize that's the one that sucked. Here's my Western Stars that actually have driven and they got lots of power. So this one, that one's powerful. That's the dual tag axles right there. And this one right here. So both of these trucks I made for highway builds because they were really powerful. But that other one I had tested and he was just gutless. So he's got 50. So he's got 55s. This guy's got 48s. And this guy's got 44s. So this guy really can't go um, off into the dirt. Even though it looks like he doesn't have all-wheel drive, he actually does. I tested it. So they failed to put a pumpkin on this truck for the axle. I guess they got lazy and didn't want to put it in, but it actually drives in the front. It's got a straight axle. Straight axles don't drive. So yeah, so there's some information I guess I'm revealing based off of my testing. So I like 55s. That's a nice size tire. Usually a 55 tire should, you know, rev higher, go faster. It's less weight um, uh, going around. All fars, all tires spinning. So it's less horsepower that you really need to get the tire spin to go fast and have torque. So Special there. Alright, I gotta go to the bathroom. I'll be back. Okay. Okay, so I finally got all my maps open. So we're finally going into where I'm going to want to test. All my maps are open. I don't have to really do any more scouting, if you will. Only to potentially in the game scout a path because I don't remember it for what truck I'm going to take so he doesn't get stuck, and be the appropriate truck for the path, how deep the mud is, how slope the terrain is. So if I'm not, so I can reach the maximum performance that I want to reach, pulling the most product and materials on a trailer through the terrain to the objective. So I'm actually at that point now. So, and I've talked about it for anybody who's watching and listening to my streams. I've talked about doing some testing on the trucks, and since they failed to put the torque and horsepower on the engines and number variant for transmission, so you could actually get the most torque and revs out of a truck is what you need when you're climbing a hill with lots of weight on, and you don't want your truck just barely fucking idling. You want it fucking wrapped out and keeping the revs up so it keeps the tire spin and power to the wheel. So since they failed to do that in the game, and I know there's a spreadsheet, a couple of the friends I've met through starting playing again about 3 weeks ago, I've met that said there's a spreadsheet where somebody actually did list the torque and horsepower. Well, I tried to download that on my phone, and for some reason it said I didn't have the file or the file space or whatever. So, I mean, I'm not technology, phone, computer savvy kind of guy, and I don't have a computer. So I was just like, well, I'm just going to do my own testing because I need to know. I need to know in game what's going to be the best build for the trucks that I'm going to run. I want to get the maximum power. So between the right engine and the right transmission. So I've talked about, I'm just going to devise a course on one of the maps with a loaded trailer, overloaded, because that's how I like loading stuff. And I'm going to pull a truck with whatever his starting engine and transmission are. I'm going to time him on the course, and then I'll have him run it again and change the transmission and see out of the transmissions that are available, I'm going to find out what's the best build. Now, the engine, I think, is not necessarily easy to. They do a strength to weight ratio, little bar. So based off of that, there should be a couple engines that I'd try. So basically, the engine I got in there is what they're saying is like the best one. Now, there's been a few trucks where the bar is the same for two engines, and so you can't really. It's just words. There's no horsepower and torque rating, so you're just guessing. So you don't know. So I'm almost at that point now where I'm able to do that because I want to start from here on out. It's not just opening up maps with a scout or for me a scout. For those who've watched, I don't really like using a scout. I like sometimes I'll use the 750, the Ford, because it's a beefy scout and holds quite a bit of fuel and repairs. But it really comes down to fuel. I like to go through the whole map and not run out of fuel. So, be self-reliant. So I usually run an off-road truck with a fuel cell, slip tank on them, if you will. So yeah, I'm ready to get my build. So then that way, when I know I'm driving my truck, I actually have the best build. So, and I'm going to do it as a video for viewers who want to actually see visually what it's doing under my kind of loads. So I know the map I'm going to do it on, and I know exactly where he's going to do it. So I'm just debating if I want to start that right now. So that means I got to get it all set up. All right, let's. Do I want to maintain this? I don't have a lot of money, so trucks that I don't have in my garage to test them. That means I'd have to buy them, and I have limited money right now. So yeah, let's retake those. I'm not doing it on this map, so I'd have to take any trucks from here that potentially I would be needing to use for the test. So I'm thinking about doing that now. So Mac defense. I'm leaving Mac here. Oh, the family. Okay. So I got a dairy defense. I don't think I have a dairy in the garage. Okay, now I got a dairy, so I only got one truck on this map. This is a Cosmodrome. I don't think I got a truck on this map. Nope. So let's see what I got on this one. Okay, nothing. So I got one truck. I'm leaving here. Okay. So let's go to that map. It's Maine. Mac. Okay, that's my pit truck. Let's see what I got on the other map. Okay, civilian. Zix. 566A. Okay. Oh wow, got a bunch here. Okay. So I have all these, but these Zigs. Let's go check these guys out. I don't have either one of these Zigs in my garage. So let's recover these. Okay. Oh yeah, this little guy. Recover him. Okay, he's recovered. Okay. Actera Pro. What I got? Civilian Haven Horn Flat Elephant. Okay, I got all those in there. Pinnacle. Okay. This one. Oh yeah, I got him set up as a fuel truck. Okay. Okay. Go back to this now. So now I got one of basically all the trucks that I can think of that I'd be using in the game. Am I already here in this garage? Okay, I am. Okay. So 61, 71, 51, 5. So what I'm considering a big tire truck, I believe I'm putting that standard at 59. That's what I'm looking through here to. This is the one that's right almost on the cusp. He'd be just under big tire. It would be so 57. So he would be really classified as a big tire if I go 59. Big tire. Big tire. Big tire. Big tire. Okay. All right. So, okay, they're all in my garage. Can't think of another truck that is going to be in my test that isn't in my garage. Okay, so I'm starting with, thinking let's start with big tire because I feel there's less amount of those than, actually I think I got more big tire trucks I'm going to be testing than, let's say, mid-size tire. So that'd be a mid-size, okay, that'd be a mid-size, I guess that'd be in mid-size, even though if we're based off of weight, he's going to be like the heaviest mid-size truck. It's right on the border. So I don't have a lot of mid-size trucks that are going to be in it, so they're the least amount. Okay, so my mid-size was less. That'd be in there. That's a strong truck. Okay. All right. So yeah, I got more big tire trucks. Wish you had multiple bays in the garage you could line your shit out with. So if I'm going by the biggest tire, so that'd be the Avonhorn. Let's get that one. It's 57. Let me go to this one. 55. 55. There's another 55. We'll put him in there for the test. See, since I have the least amount of those. Kenworth is 51. It's going to be 51 next. Kenworth. 51. Those are freeway trucks, so that'll be a different test. So he's going to be at the end of the line. Him, Defense and Pinnacle. Usually I don't go lower than 50, but because the Mack, Pinnacle, and Defense are so strong, I drop my minimum tire size by 3 inches to accept them. Okay, well that one's 4 inches. So the Pinnacle's 4 inches. I guess I was thinking he was 47, but he's 46. Okay. Where's 47? 47. Okay. Defense, and then Pinnacle's the last one in line. Actually, just enough for every slot on them. Okay. There's the lineup. I'm starting with the biggest tire going down for my mid-sized trucks. That'll be it. I'm gonna test them all against each other. They're gonna all have. These are all high saddle. Have the capability of having a high saddle. So alpha polar. So they'll all be set up with the same attachment. So they'll have the same weight, if you will. Okay. So big trucks. Actually, I should have did this last, but that's all right. I'll take this slot for right now, and then take out all my big ones and get them outside for the test. So starting with 59 flat. So what I'm going to be testing him with. Okay, and I will put them all with the same tires too. If they all have the same ones, they'll get the exact same tires. Only difference would be if one doesn't have mudders, then I'll do the next best tire that they got that's like a mudder. That would do the best in the mud, I feel. Um, Having side grip, because your tire's buried in the mud, so the side of the tire is pushing down on the mud and helping paddle the dirt and push the truck up. So I'm gonna get it set up and start the video and name it and start getting on. You guys need to see this set it up to start the video before the test. I'm a driver around. I can scout to show people, like, since I have to be in a truck looking at other trucks, so I'll be driving a scout, showing and talking. So let's see. Get them all in here. So smallest to biggest. So let's go smallest to biggest. Look at what you see the smallest. So I should have started with the biggest to start with, so I put the space in. Biggest one. Okay, these are. Wait, was I? That was the. Okay, yeah. Okay, biggest tire. So that's going to be probably Kenworth. 67. 67. Okay, 69. Somebody's 70. Okay, Kenworth. High saddle crane. 71. Last biggest car. One 69. Okay. Next, and all bounced down to 64, 67. They all got the same tires based off of the ones that can. So far. Good. Basically the same. Fred. Oh, he does. I took a power out and actually have almost got the space back. Okay, yeah, 59. So yeah, no, he's actually at the end of the mid-sized trucks. And then the Haven Horn will be in here with this one. I almost feel like they should be in with the big, but let's see. The next one, 55. It's only a 4-inch difference from him. Yeah, 59. Yeah, okay. 59 is my number. So, let's get a truck out to look at all this shit. Let's get a shed. Good truck. Okay, so there's the lineup for big trucks, 2, 4, 6. So I can space it a little bit more because that's all. big trucks that are going to be in the challenge against each other for who's the best one. Okay, so I'm thinking about, let's see, am I ready to go? Oh, I gotta get the trailer down there, get another truck out, make the trailer. I'll use my pit truck. Concrete slab. Trailer. We're ready to do the test. Concrete slab. Unlimited. Fuck, how far do I gotta go to get those? Damn. Okay. So I don't have concrete slabs, so no concrete on the ground. Okay, I could do metal. I could use metal coils for rolls. Have to fabricate them. Metal rolls and six. Metal beams. We got metal here. Metal rolls unlimited. Right there. Let's see if I got unlimited metal rolls here. Yeah. limited right there. So that's where I gotta go to get all my metal rolls, and I need at least, let's see, 6, 5. That's gonna be 11. So 11 metal rolls. Oh, what do I have unlimited? What's that? This unlimited thing I got here? Cement. Cement's pretty heavy. Okay. So 5 on the trailer, 6, another 6. That'd be 12. I could do 12. 12 cements. Cargo container. Oversized cargo. How many slides is oversized cargo? Where's my phone? How many slots is oversized cargo in SnowRunner? I'm saying 4.
Oversized cargo in SnowRunner occupies 4 cargo slots. You'll typically transport it using a 4-slot.
Okay, so I was right. So if I did that, get 1 on there, 2. Get 3 of them. That'd be pretty heavy. Alright, let's see. I got all 4 to do. I could do all 4. That'd be seriously heavy. Okay, oversized cargoes. I got all 4 of those. That'd definitely be a heavy load. If there's anything that needs oversized cargo. So was doing that, so based off of if I wanted to delete them afterwards, or if I didn't want to delete them if I needed them for a quest, so I could actually delete them if I needed to afterwards. Okay, so 4 oversized cargoes. batch of pork. I'm going to be pulling them on here. Pull all that way. And here's the hillside. optical illusion. If you look at my truck, it looks like it's not even moving. Then you look at the guardrail and see I'm barely moving. So yeah, just look at my truck. Looks like it's not moving. So I thought about, so what I'm going to do is I'm not going to, so you tap clutch like this. This keeps you kind of in your gear, and so if it goes to shift, it'll stay at the RPM and be in the right gear. So a lot of times it'll shift. It's going to bog down, but if you're tapping this, it'll shift. It'll keep them in his revs. So I'm not going to do that for each truck on this challenge. I'm just going to leave it in automatic because that'll be a true test of the transmission itself. So it's going to do what it's going to do. And a lot of these, oh, I already had one here. So that'll be a true test of the transmission because if it's geared low enough, it's going to stay in its probably lowest gear because it's going to be a tough load. Versus one that isn't strong enough is going to bog down and then just barely be moving. So, and then the other option is it's going to rev up and go into the second gear and shift, and then it's going to come to a stop and then shift back down into first. So I'm going to let it do it, run its course. And it's going to be kind of painstaking because I hate it when a truck comes to a stop shifted in automatic. But if I just put it in the lowest gear, then it's only a test of the low gear and the speed at which it's going. So I need a true test of the transmission. So by leaving it in automatic, I'll get that test. So that's what I'm going to do. The only time I'm going to shift down is right before I go up the hill and get highest low gear that transmission my truck has. That would be it. Automatic, make it up the hill and just stop on the hill. This guy, he almost stopped with an empty trailer going. imagine what it'd be with 2 to 4 oversized cargo on the trailer. It wouldn't have got very far. Right if you had roads over there, it probably would have stopped. This is why I'm testing, so I'm going to know exactly what truck I best pull stuff for big tire and medium tire. So I'm calling right now my best medium truck's going to come down to the dairy special. The Pinnacle is pretty strong, but his tires are quite a bit small, 4 inches small. So that's he's going to have more tire. He's not going to have the traction like the other one. So he's going to lose some time for that. It's my opinion for this situation. Maybe they're not in a position to do that spot. I'm debating questions 2. I was just pretty complicated. Just better than I as it was. Really fucking good. These things are pretty good. Fan off. came to a stop. Second gear. There's transmission back on pole. This is going to be a real test of the transmission. And once I find a transmission that's doing the best with the motor that I have in it, then I'll look at the motor and see if there's a motor that is potentially a motor that could be a potential contender. We got it 6 to 3. So if I would have been watching, I would have dropped third or so. Standing. There's just let it go. That's what I'm doing. Fourth. I would go. I'm watching. Second. You go from 6th to 1st, you need clutch in, you went to 3rd and 2nd. And hold it in that power. So the same transmission truck and opposite exact a little bit right next to me, I would just hold it there. Like when you get some mixture of stuff faster. Just from 1st to 3rd. Skip it because it was going to be it's a slow gear. So I just prefer people who don't want to get the clutch. Just the clutch that slow. So watch my gear, 6 out of 6. Fifth, fourth, third, second, and first. So I would have been clutching, we would have been 6th to 1st. I just would have pulled through it. The same truck would have been next to me, the same. Watch. So look at my truck on the left side. Okay, like I'm not even moving. But yeah, you don't hold it the side. But it's very just like moving off. there's got stuff there. But off that, it's looking good. This is good park. It's very custom park. So, I went all the way to that hill between that freeway and the highway. One time. Trucks. But that's end up passing each truck multiple times and change the transmission. Get the best transmission, raise value at the time, and eventually go back to the after it. It's a great type of all the way down there, get time, and I got to pull this trailer back and then hook up the trailer back. So it's going to be maybe a week more this past month. And then it's going to be a one-time thing. That'll be some new trucks. Upgrade for any trucks that are currently invested. Great. All clear. Okay, the pit truck is great time to start. Great time to start a good time. Unfortunately, okay. Okay, pretty much ready. All I got to do is start a new video. Okay. I'm doing a challenge, so starting my challenge I've been talking about for a couple weeks or more. So I'm gonna go to the bathroom before I start the new video. All right, I'm gonna take a shower for about 5 to 10 minutes. I'll be back and then start the challenge. Alrighty. Get some drink here. Okay. Alrighty. Okay, this is going to be a mini part um, video, and I'll explain that at the beginning of the video. Um, so I'm going to stop this stream, and I'm going to start one that's specific to this challenge. So it'll be part one of Omega Big Truck Challenge, testing these trucks out and finding out who's the best. And I think I already pretty much know who's going to be number one. I'm calling the Mastodon, but we'll go down the line and I'll actually have a timed event and what's going to be the best transmission and engine for each one. So this could be like a week or more potentially, based off of how much I can get done in the allocated time that I stream it. So, all right, so I'm going to end this stream and start another one for those watching. If you want to see the beginning of it, give me a few minutes to get it going. I wish I knew how to I guess I'd have to check. I've never really checked on how to get a picture. This is the picture I'd like to have for my stream, but I'm not sure how to do that. I guess maybe if I don't know. I don't know if I got to crop it at YouTube myself, or if there's a setting inside my PlayStation when I start streaming. I can use this picture like this as my picture that what people would be looking at. That's going to have my name of my video. But whatever. All right, I'm gonna start another stream. Let's see. Let's take a screenshot actually now.